guys, what's up? It's Karl here, back with another episode, and I've been using the Huawei P40 Pro now for the past couple months, and I know that the P40 Pro Plus has also just come out, and there is no doubt that Huawei has some of the best hardware in the smartphone scene. We've got the quad Leica camera setup, you've got the latest silicone on the insides, and it's lightning quick, but people are hesitant because Huawei devices, of course, lack Google mobile services. And I kind of want to chat about that tech-wise and see where their smartphones are kind of heading and what direction Huawei is now taking. So we know from last year, Huawei has moved away from Google mobile services, GMS, so you can no longer get the Google Play Store on any Huawei device. In turn, they've created their own app store, created AppGallery. And there you can download a lot of apps, perhaps not all of them, and there are different ways to do that. We'll get into that later, but let's dial that back and take a look at what direction Huawei is going. And with that, we need the help from these two other phones. And now when you think of a smartphone market, you kind of think of two different camps: iOS and Android. And you're kind of greeted with a choice of either choosing an iPhone, because those are the only phones that rock iOS, or when you choose Android, now you have all of the different manufacturers. We've got Sony, Samsung, LG, and that list kind of goes on. And what Huawei is trying to do, they're trying to create their own ecosystem called Harmony OS. They've been developing that now for the last couple years. And similar to, say, Apple, who builds all of their stuff in-house. They build their own chipsets, they build their own camera lenses. I think that's the direction Huawei is looking to take. They're already building their own Kirin chipsets, and now they're moving into that OS space with Harmony. But right now, as Huawei goes through that transition, they're still currently operating over on Android. For example, their latest P40 series on Android 10 with, of course, EMUI over top. And there are a lot of potential benefits to that, and you just need to look over at Team Apple to kind of see why. Once you get stuck into an ecosystem, people buy or use all of their products because they work so well together. So my iPhone connects to my MacBook, connects to my AirPods. I can do things like AirDrop. Everything works seamlessly in that ecosystem and super efficient. Because when you look at the specs of, say, an iPhone compared to an Android flagship, 12 gigs of RAM, multi-core GPUs, but the efficiency, because all of these products work well together, that's where Apple shines. And that's the direction that Huawei is really looking to take. And I love that because that gives the consumer, you guys, as well as me, more choice on which device to pick. That also drives innovation forward. Companies can't be stagnant. And in the meantime, as Huawei kind of navigates their OS, their app store, there are ways to download all of the apps that we have on Google services, everything that we find on iOS, the Apple Store, on a Huawei device. So there's three main ways. Let's go through them all, and I'll show you guys how to make this device just as powerful and usable as these two. The first way, probably the most simple, is through an app called Phone Clone, and that essentially clones all of the apps, all of the info on an existing device onto your new Huawei device. So for example, we'll take my iPhone and we'll download Phone Clone on both devices, and you can see how simple it is to copy every single one of my apps over from my iPhone to my Huawei device, and that includes Instagram, Facebook, Google Maps. And those are the apps that you currently can't find in AppGallery, which is Huawei's official app store. So they're really working hard with developers, and they're investing a ton of money for developers to come onto AppGallery. I think they do add around 10,000 apps a day, and they're currently the third largest app platform. That's method number 2. And the third way to download apps is through Petal Search. It's an official Huawei tool, and you have access to over 1 million top apps. It has a very easy one-click download, and it also offers all of your app updates. And you can see here how I searched for Instagram, and I was able to download it in just one click, so it's super easy. And you can also have Petal Search as a widget pinned to your home screen, and you can easily search any apps that you're looking for through there. And all future Huawei devices will actually have that Petal Search widget pre-installed, which shows how easy it is to search up and get your favorite apps. So that's kind of the multi-way path on how to get any sort of app you want for your Huawei device. And it'll be really interesting to see how Huawei continues to evolve Harmony OS over the next couple years, and if we will truly see a fully independent smartphone brand, independent from Google and Android, because more selection for us just means everything gets better on the tech side. Hope you guys enjoyed this video on the direction that Huawei is going and my revisited review of the Huawei P40 Pro. Completely usable device, and yes, there are a couple different workarounds that you might need to select, those different paths that you need to choose. I wouldn't write them off just yet, and I think what we need to see more of are colorways like this. Still my favorite that I've seen in 2020 across any smartphone, the frosted glass gradient back. Curious what you guys think. Let me know down below in the comments. Can Huawei break out and be their own independent brand, or is the pull from Google and Android just too strong? We'll catch the rest of you in one of my next vids or vlogs. Peace!